Hey guys, this is Tabitha Cerberus, and today I'm showing you the fabrics that I'm going to be using to make my Maomao cosplay from Apothecary Diaries. A lot of it is linens and mixed linens, and I think one cotton. There's also a mystery fabric that I don't know the contents of because I bought it in Indonesia. So the first step is using my pattern to make the top. Now, I've never made this Hanfu top before, and I have to say it was a bit of a challenge, mostly for the collar area, but everything else was very similar to the other Hanfu patterns I've used before. So you just see me here laying out the pattern pieces. This is a very, very thin, almost like silky fake linen, polyester linen. Um, I ended up backing this with a lining because it took me a while to realize that the Chinese book I was using was telling me I need a lining for this top. And so I was kind of grateful that I needed to do a lining. So I did it with a 100% cotton green fabric, which would give this very thin polyester linen structure it needed. Because even after like draping it, it's still kind of warped on me. But it was fine because even the size small, I needed to adjust because the sleeves were just way too big. Uh, but that's just me being very skinny and small. I feel like this pattern would fit like a normal person. Uh, And because it warped after hanging, and even after cutting it out and sewing it, I would drape it some more. It still warped a little, so I had to like mess with it. And it didn't take me until after I sewed in the lining to realize that I put the front flaps on wrong. So I had a seam rip and switch the flaps because I had the shirt closing the wrong way, which is a big no-no. So it's gonna bother me. Like I could totally have just like mirrored my photos and no one would know, but I would know, and anyone who met me in person would know. So I spent an hour seam ripping the front panels, both the lining and the outer pieces out, and flipping the pieces so that it would close properly. Uh, the trickier part, I think, was the collar. Um, because it has like this second piece that goes on top, and even though I have this Chinese book that shows me how to sew these hanfus together, it didn't quite explain how to do this like overlay on top of the collar, so I kind of had to wing it, and I think I did it properly. Um, this darker green fabric I use is another linen-like fabric. Uh, I did an iron-on interfacing to give the collar structure, and I used favorite my favorite stitch, the hidden seam stitch, uh, which I always use on my hanfus. It's like my prominent uh, stitch, and it takes a while. I've messed up. I'm not perfect with this process. I always have to mark where my needle did not catch the lining. This is that second collar piece I told you about that goes on top of the first collar. Um, this is the fabric that's the mystery fabric. It's probably polyester. It's some leftover fabric from a piece I used from Indonesia. It's very soft, very pretty, and I was so glad to finally use it in a cosplay. For the skirt from Maomao, I just did a very simple pleated skirt. Instead of like the normal like pleats that I did for Hanfu. Since she's kind of more of a servant in the series, I decided to kind of make it look rough. This linen is 100% linen, so it's a lot thicker, which gives it a little bit more body. And for the pleats, I did like 2-inch pleats. I made them really big compared to like what I would normally do for a Hanfu skirt. Um, because in the anime and in the manga, her skirt doesn't look very pleated. It looks just kind of like bunched together, and so I kind of wanted to do that. And so it takes a while to pleat. Uh, this is when I use like a ruler to help me make sure that the pleats are right amount. Um, this is just kind of easy. I've done like pleated skirts before, so you can like see in past videos and how I did this. But I just pleat it, iron the pleats. I use heavy starch. The heavy starch helps keeps the pleats in place. I only wash the skirt when I need to. And then once all the pleats are done, I go in and I will mark where I need to cut off excess fabric for my hemline. And I will use that leftover fabric to make a waistband. This is basically a simple tie skirt, so nothing fancy. Uh, Here I'm marking said hemline. I ended up having to make this shorter because it ended up being too long even after hemming. And then because she needs a prop, I got a basket from Amazon and bought some fake flowers that are used in like Chinese medical herbs slash have a hint of poison to them, and just kind of made a little uh, basket to collect herbs in that I can carry around. I do have a uh, basket backpack, but I haven't set that up yet, and I wanted something that I could easily pack in a suitcase to take to cons that are out of state that I have to fly to. So this is what I used, was a little basket, and I got to play around with some hot glue and decorate the basket. And I think it came out really cute, and it's very lightweight and easy to carry. And so here are some final photos of the cosplay by my photographer in Florida, Hakuro. I might have pronounced that wrong, and I apologize.